Hey everybody, and welcome back. So if you've probably watched my failed draft attempts, I got a different idea. So because I can't leave my job because it's still too icy to leave, and I've got my new Sean O'Hare Ultimate and about 40 other pieces to put together, more people, I can't leave till tomorrow because my replacement can't get here because of the ice. So I've decided to do, instead of making smaller little brands, what about just making it more realistic? So here is the entire Ultimate Wave, and I do apologize, I don't have the best camera there. There's the entire Ultimate figures currently. Now, of course, missing is Sean O'Hare and a few other ones I'm still going to build. But the idea is I'm going to draft these randomly. Only one brand. 40 people, picked out of here at random. I'm going to then take a dice, since I like to do a D&D type style fig fed. And I'm going to... Let my dogs come up there. Sorry, I'm moving some buckets out of the way here. They're bored too because they can't, they expect to go home today and they don't get to go home today. We don't get to go back to their house yet. So I'm going to do a random drawing off the cell phone, and what's going to happen is I'm then going to roll a dice between a six-sided dice, standard dice, no cheating. I'll pull the dice out here. 1 second. There it is. There's a single-sided dice, and it's going to determine how many quote years they are contracted for. So while I might get like a jobber for only 1 year, I might get a Goldberg for a 6-year contract, and then they're going to stay in there and do the weekly fig fed thing. So I'm narrowing it down to only Ultimate, one brand of Elite, one brand of AEW, one brand of Customs. That way each week I can do a show, and that's not just, you're not going to see anybody disappear for a while. And of course there's also the other brands like the Deluxe and the Ruthless Aggression figures, which are very limited, so it's like a hodgepodge on those ones. So let's get started. Whether you like it or not, I'm doing it because I'm bored. Oh, and in case in case we do start, here's a formula. William Regal. Very simple. Get a William Regal Elite 47 figure, I think it is, 47A or B, one of those two. You could also do his Elite 8 if you really wanted to. I went with this one because I wanted the WCW type-esque as well as WWF type. I wanted them kind of like in different genres, and that other one is just kind of more of an ECW late fed. So, Stone Cold Steve Austin torso, crack it, swap it. Arms are Stone Cold, except for I switched the arms so he has a little England Rose tattoo right there, and lower half. So there's how you can make your own William Regal Ultimate conversion. Alright, so let's begin. So first thing I gotta do is I gotta go over to my spreadsheet here, which you can't see. And the best way to do this fairly scroll down here, and there's so many more people that I still have to build. Some people I am going to build, and some people I did find on eBay, so I'll be adding them as well. Like, spoiler, Bobby Fish. Someone made an Ultimate Bobby Fish figure, which I would have made my own Bobby Fish figure, but the problem is I'm not good at decals. So I did not want to make one without his tattoo, and it's a pretty noticeable tattoo. A small one here on the leg or something. I'm not worried. I can always cover that up with like an armband or something like that, but he doesn't have that. So give me 1 second. So I'm basically now going over and I'm applying on my spreadsheet here all the ultimates that are custom and as well as the ones that are just standard. I'll even add Mankind because I plan to actually build my own Mankind. I'm going to wait for the Three Faces of Foley to show up, and I'm going to build my own Mankind figure. Alright, so let me see. I'll add Mankind. So, with that being said, including all the people that are being built or haven't arrived yet, I have 217 Ultimate figures. No exaggeration. They're all people I know that can be made, that will be made. So 217 guys, and only 40 are going to get selected. So let me grab the... Now, unfortunately, this cell phone sucks, as we know. If you watch the failed attempts, you know that this thing kept constantly giving me the same numbers. So hopefully I can plug this in to 217. Okay, there's the 217. We only need one number at a time. More options. No duplicate numbers when choosing more than one number at a time. Okay. Alright, so here we go. Hopefully it works. Drum roll. Number 111. Now 111 for me, because I can see this and you can't see this number. 111. 111 is... So if I do pick a tag team, or if I do pick up one of the members, then the other member comes along too. So that'll be part of the 40. Samir and Sneal Singh. So these guys right here. If you can now, if you're wondering who these guys are, if you remember the Singh brothers, they were Jinder Mahal's kind of lackeys. Obviously, before he got Indo-Shear, whatever it is called. Obviously, I just kind of went with the grab an Austin, switch out the legs. I did switch out the legs so I could put the Ultimate Warrior tassels on. I even wiped off the Warrior tassels off the boots. That way they're not there on the pink part. So, completely random. Good, I got a jobber tag team to start. Maybe they become multi-time tag team champions. I don't know. It's all random. Here we go, number 2. 172. Okay. Well, I got a all-star. This one actually you can acquire. It's not a custom. And I remember putting them over here somewhere. Let's see if I can find them real quick. Problem with having so many people is you have to kind of dig in here to find them. I'm not going to leave. I don't want to put all of them all over the place and not have anywhere to step. And I'm talking about the Animal Batista. There you are. Look for red knee pads. Look for red kick pads. Now, of course, if you heard that apparently he's going to have a best of wave coming up, so they're going to re-release him again. That's fine. I mean, I already have him. So, I already have a duplicate one in a box too as well. So, nothing special there. Okay. 77. Okay, another tag team. This is the WCW brand. These are customs. The Nasty Boys. Jerry Sags and Brian Knobbs. So 5 guys have been picked so far. We still got 35 to go. And I'll do the dice roll after I've selected the 40. 122. 122. Oops. Where'd my camera go? There it is. 122. Okay. So, starting out with not a lot of heavy hitters. Batista's really the only one currently. David Otunga. David Otunga was basically just a rock. You can see I kind of started to acetone and blend it to kind of give it like a silvery, shiny look. I kind of went for like his 2013, 2014 attire. The boots, I used to do King boots and whatnot. It works great for him. The King boots work great for him and for the Darren Young. Number 6. Okay, number 6. So we might be getting some... this is all random stuff, too. I didn't put like the highest guys up there. Okay, another custom. This one I didn't explain on the formula because I didn't build this one. This one's built by phenomenal customizer. Great job on it. The Great Muta. And I mean, just so clean, so sparkly. So, the Great Muta has been picked. 217. And if I remember correctly, 217, I add him at the last. Mankind. Okay. So, Mankind is in a placeholder. I don't have him yet. 174. I'm interested to see who the 40 guys are that start. Hey, Bret Hart. Now, this is just the standard Target exclusive Bret Hart. I will upgrade it to the Monday Night Wars line when it becomes available. So, there's Bret. And no, I'm not adding the Hart Foundation. It's just him by himself. Number 1. So we go from the last place earlier to the number 1. Oh. One of my first customs that I didn't build it necessarily. I just kind of built upon it. And where are you? You were here earlier. Oh, there you are. Gotta have the master and the ruler of the world, Psycho Sid. So, great figure. Seeing what Mattel is offering, no offense to Mattel, I'm glad I started going down this route because looking at the next couple lines, maybe Elite in '09, Elite 110, like I'm getting 3 guys, maybe I'm getting 1 guy from Elite '09, 109 to have the WWE World Heavyweight Championship belt. I'm going to be saving some money. Now, of course, I'm going to be buying the Power Town figures, but that's very small, minuscule, out of my checks. So, at this rate, excuse me, at this rate, let me get some water. I'm going to be out of figures to build soon. But I can always figure out other stuff. And the nice thing is I'll be able to start working towards buying my house sooner because my condo is getting a little too small with all the stuff I collect. So, let's move on. 142. Back in those 100s again. Hey, another one. And this one I'm personally proud of because I've built this one. You've probably already seen it on my channel if you followed my channel or watched it. I think I already explained the formula for it. And I couldn't be happier with the results of it. Hello, ladies. So Val Venus. More proud of, I think, of the back V than I am the front, as I've said before. Just a little bit more pristine on that one. Alright, so Val's in there. And who knows how many years he'll get. 42. 42. 42 is going to be... not here yet. Ahmed Johnson. Okay, so Ahmed Johnson. I have to make the note of that. So Ahmed and Mankind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to make a different color so that way I know they have been selected. That way I can go back here when I make the roster. And Ahmed's not being made by me. Great customizer. Mike Ruff is building that one. It's taking some time, but it's understandable. He's got a lot of figures. Alright, next one. 211. Okay. So we're going with some old school guys. This is a mix too. I'm not going to keep it by generations. Not custom. Hot Rod Roddy Piper. So far we're going to have about 38 guys on the first show because, well, Mankind will be built as soon as they release the fully exclusive stuff, and Ahmed could be another month or two. So we'll just say he got injured during training. 15 is the next number. 15. Okay, another guy. I didn't build him. In fact, somebody else built him, did a good job. I don't know how they even swapped the. Obviously, I know what they did is they took the torso piece out and switched it with a different torso piece and really made this a tight feeling figure. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. So far we got a hodgepodge of different eras for sure. It's not just one era, which is good. Be interesting to see how I create matches for that. It'll be based on point system, by the way. It's kind of like a D&D type thing. I mean, a buddy of mine invented a long time ago. Okay, number 63 is one I did build. And I'm still waiting on his proper shirt to arrive. So for now, he's in a improper shirt. But it still works for him. I just want to get more of the iconic red and black pants more than just a blue one. Now the problem is he's not exactly the easiest to find in here. Give me 1 second. Oh, where is he at? He was one of the earlier ones. He would be up here somewhere. Let's see. There's Benoit. There's Gangrel. There's Spike. Oh, there he is. He's buried underneath everybody. He is Rico. And again, he is double, like I said, he is butterfly joints. He is an ultimate. I'm not faking it out here. So he will have a better, tighter fitting red shirt than this blue one. This is just for, you can get this one from the John Cena. You can get pretty much the whole thing from the John Cena Fast and Furious figure. Just swap the head, get the Rico head, get a Stone Cold body. Or an AJ. I think it's an AJ body, actually. 173. Oh, okay. So we do have some heavy hitters now. We got two big heavy hitters. We got Batista, and now he'll be joined by this individual. And who knows how many years he gets on his contract. My custom, you can get the WCW version of him. I thought about building one just as is, but then I saw this one for like $50, and I was like, yeah, okay. I've seen people build this one pretty simply. The only thing I think about doing with this one is maybe softening this arm, taking it off, and putting this one with a tattoo underneath it, since he did have that tattoo. But otherwise, it works just as well. Goldberg is selected now, and he would be number 16 in this draft. All right, 168. Okay, so another guy, Sakota. You're probably thinking, who the heck is Sakota? Sakota was a short-lived henchman for Tajiri. He did have a figure released in the Jack Pacific days with Akio. They were, but it didn't come with Tajiri. It came with Funaki. It was a Far East 3-pack. It was really weird that they decided to do it with Funaki and not him. But that was our first Funaki we ever got, was that version. And then later on, Funaki would win the Cruiserweight belt and get his own single release. So he's pretty simple. I'm building him. He's just going to have a Austin torso. He was bigger than Akio. He was also bigger than Tajiri. Ryan Sakota was what he went by. But then they shortened it down to Sakota. Basically, he's just Rico pants and, Austin torso and the head and whatnot. And that's a Sakota. Not super difficult to make that one. All right. 172. See, this is where I get annoyed. I clicked do not repeat, and it repeats. There's 200 numbers, and it keeps repeating. Like, what the heck? 107 is next. Ooh, okay. Well, that's cool. I didn't know if I was going to get him or not in this pick. Gangrel. So, Gangrel, basically Christian's lower legs from that Elite Pack. Velveteen Dream shirt. The Gangrel head you have to find usually from a customizer. I found one that was already pre-painted. I found two actually, but this one fit better than the other one. And basically that's pretty much it. I mean, Stone Cold torso. I think I used Stone Cold, or did you use an AJ torso? Let's take a look. I used a Austin torso. And then I glued the front of the shirt closed, so that way it didn't fall apart. So, alright, so we got Gangrel. Will we get any members of the Brood? We'll find out. 152. 152. Jason Jordan. Okay. So, I had an extra Muhammad Ali lying around. I had some Jordan figures lying around. So, it's not the best. I mean, some people did use the Rock torso. I think it would have probably worked just as well. I felt he was too jacked, so I went with a little bit thinner one. Naturally, you can see there's a little bit of color distortion, but it's literally what I haven't. I've seen figures come out of packages that have color distortion, and sometimes you can leave them out in the sun and they get warped a little bit. Sometimes they just come out a little bit warped. I know in Jack's there was definitely some miscolored bodies here and there. So from afar, it's not too bad. If you're really up close to it, you can tell it's not the greatest. 212. Didn't I already say 212? See, this is where it's annoying me. No, I did not. And I get George the Animal Steel. Now, his figure, you can get on Mattel Creations. A lot of people are buying up this figure because they're taking this torso, cleaning it off, acetoning it off, painting it, whatever they want. They're making a Junkyard Dog out of this. I've got, personally, Harley Race, Nikolai Volkov, Great Hammer Valentine, and Honky Tonk Man on their way using this body. So I bought 4 of these, plus him, just to add to the collection. So that figure might go up in scarcity because people are using it so much to build other people. I've even thought about a Pat Patterson could possibly work for this body. Alright. 188. Alright, cool. Got some more big timers. Now, this figure you have to acquire through eBay. I've obviously altered my Macho Man. Now, I've got 3 of these. I really pushed hard for that crowdfunder as best I could with the money I had at the time. If I had more money back, if I had the money I make now back then, I probably would have bought even more of them just to try to get this crowdfunder to help fund. I pushed hard for that WCW stage. I had 6 ordered. I was a big believer in that. I was thinking, man, this is before I can even think about customizing figures or converting elites into ultimates. And I'm thinking, that's the only way we're going to get DDP. And I thought about building a DDP, but the tattoos are up on the shoulders. He's got his little star tat. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I wonder if people are kicking themselves right now knowing that they could have easily taken some jeans, thrown that ultimate torso onto that figure and made their jeans DDP. Whether you didn't like the WCW look or not, you could have done that. You could have done his WWE look. I digress. Macho Man is next. That one still irks me to this day. And the sad thing is Mattel hasn't their commercials like it was released. It wasn't released. So you can't, it's like Mattel Creations. Like, no, that didn't get created. It got, fantasized. There is the figures. And it'll probably end up with Matt Cardona or something, in the future. Or someone's probably got one sitting in a prototype stage somewhere. Something I'll probably never buy. Alright, number 62. Hey, I was talking about him earlier. What are the odds? William Regal, sunshine. So we got William Regal. It would be cool with Macho Man. And so where am I at now? I'm at 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm at 22. Sorry. 36. Okay. What do we get for 36? Let's find out. Okay, another tag team. And this tag team I'm happy with. I probably will switch out the arms and get the wrist tape onto them. After talking to the guy who built them originally, I was like, hey, how'd you add wrist tape to these? Because I bought the earlier versions. He found a way to make them nicer. The Brainbusters. Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. So looking at this right now, there's not exactly a lot of, except for the Singh brothers. I mean, for one, there's actually no active roster members of WWE right now. So maybe that will change. Let's find out. 40. Nope, not yet. In fact, this person, sadly, we lost, I think, last year, if I recall. Ultimate Iron Sheik. Now, I didn't build this one, that's why I'm not sharing it. I'm not sure who they used. I know that they used an Iron Sheik lower half. I do believe from his... No, okay, so actually, they used somebody entirely different. That camel is not... That's painted. That's not original. They did a really good job with this one, and so they told me that they were building people. I saw the Rick Rude. I said, they say I have an Iron Sheik. They put one together for me. I bought that, no questions asked. So I'm happy with it. I know people are getting that Elite, that Legends 21 one right now, but this is ultimate to me right here. Alright, so we're at 5, 10, 15, 25, 15 to go. 151. And I'll make a different video on the contract links. I won't make you sit through all this if you choose even stay and watch all this. Okay, this is a placeholder. I mean, I have one, but he's literally just a placeholder right now. L.A. Knight. Yeah! So, obviously, it was built by somebody else. I did have his basic. I saw this for a decent price. I gave me a good deal on it. I'm hoping that the new one will have a lighter non-tan head. Because this one's really, that new basic, I've noticed that basic skin tone is really shiny and just kind of off-putting from the Ultimate. So hopefully that's not a thing that's going to happen with all of them. Looking at this though, I do see you could even take this torso off. It won't be as ripped, but you could use like Macho Man's torso. Don't use your crowdfunders. Those are expensive. Use that Target exclusive Macho Man, the NWO one. I think that could work very well as well if you choose to do that. I'm waiting until personally the Elite comes out, then I'll swap it so I at least have the decals in the lower half that are proportionate and proper design. All right, 142. Didn't I already do 142? See what I mean? 47. Okay. 47. Ooh, okay. He's at my mailbox at my condo. Sean O'Hare. So can't wait to see how many years on the contract he gets. Can't wait to show him off. And he was done by 3XR. So when I show him off, all credit goes to that guy. I commissioned it. I sent him pictures, and he did a phenomenal job. The only thing I think I'm going to do to his figure is I'm going to have to probably Mod Podge it, because he says he doesn't use Mod Podge. I've had no problem with Mod Podge. I've been doing that to a few of mine. I did to my Val Venus. It hasn't chipped. The paint hasn't. The paint is sealed on there. So since he doesn't do that, I'm going to take the step and make sure that since I paid a good amount of money for this figure from the UK, I'm going to protect that figure the best I can. So he'll get Mod Podged. I'll be very careful with it, obviously, but I still want to make sure it's not chipping and breaking and whatnot, even when it's posing. Because, even when you pose, you have to put them in, sometimes they fall down, or I do a suplex with them. Nothing, on the concrete like that, but I'm making sure that I take good care of that one. Really underrated guy. I know there's a what if scenarios out there with him. The only video game he ever got was SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, which is one of the best wrestling games. And just really shocking we never got a figure from him, and nobody's even reached out to try to build one of him. And we got Dynamite Kid. Sean O'Hare, I think, would have been great if someone was to build him. Some company was to build him, maybe. Alright. 163. See what I mean? It just does not listen to what I say. 139. Okay, another guy who's not here right now. So there's another two guys. Crush. So Crush was grabbed, and so by default, I've decided that I need a faction. So let's get Demolition in there. Let's get Axe and Smash. So we got Sean, we got Crush, we got Axe and Smash. Alright, so we've got another tag team. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. There's 30. 10 guys to go. 158. Another guy who's in the process. He would have been here if I had an Austin torso. I tried to do it with an AJ torso to make him a little smaller. Turns out the jeans and the AJ torso just weren't working very well because it was a bigger head. It didn't look right. So Jimmy Wang Yang, I'm going to add color to that so I know he's a part of it. Jimmy Wang Yang will be a part of that, and that also leads another cruiserweight to my cruiserweight division, which pretty much is only the Singh brothers right now. So hopefully I snag one or two more in this draft. $204. Okay, well, got another major player. So, and where are you? This one, of course, you can acquire from Amazon if you wanted to. He does have a best of that came out. Of course, it's an older style butterfly, no butterfly joints, the older style Ultimate. So a lot of people were really upset when they started releasing these best of, that they ended up, convincing Mattel, hey, if you want to buy this thing again, do something different. We already have the first one. Make them with butterfly joints. People are begging that they make Finn Balor, redo Finn Balor, either in the Demon or just in Judgment Day look, and give us a updated Finn Balor. I know that Kevin Owens and supposedly Sami Zayn are like a Walmart thing coming down the line, and there's also Gunther, however you want to say it. I'm just trying to find them real quick. Oh, there he is, hidden away. This one I got from a different customizer with butterfly joints. It is definitely circa 2000s Triple H with the older gold HHH, which I like that. Obviously we had kept the knee brace on there. I switched the arms. I wanted to switch the head. I originally was switching it to this head anyway. I realized that they had not silly putty, but like puttied it, and it came, the whole peg came off, which was unfortunate. So I ended up having to glue it. I ended up having to put glue in there, put the peg back in there, glue it, and he's the way he is now. So it works for me. I'm not too worried about it. I don't need him tilting his head, looking all weird anyway. So it's the best I can do with what I had to work with. This is before I could figure out how to do stuff. 136. Okay. This guy I went back and forth on, deciding if I was going to build him. Finally, I just said, you know what, let's just pull the trigger on it. I mean, if it doesn't work out, I can always get another one. But it worked out great. EC3. Ultimate Warrior torso. You know, obviously a little bit of side got caught in there a little bit, so I may have to take a X-Acto knife and carefully slice that down a little bit. But it, like I said, it really does really well. And again, you're going to notice a little bit of skin difference in the head and the arms if you're really looking close at this thing. But from afar, can you tell? I can't. All right. All right, so we got some up-and-comers. 53. Brian Pillman. All right, Brian Pillman. There you are. So, as you know, I built one before. It was the Flying Brian. I didn't know what to do. I panicked. I ended up gluing the whole waist down. It's actually on Mercari for sale, but no one seems to want to take it. So, yeah, I'm popped to knock it down a few more dollars. But I went back with a Stone Cold torso, grabbed my Legends 3 Ultimate, which is very pricey. Some people say, you're crazy for destroying these, these now very rare and hard to find figures. I'm like, I don't think I'm destroying them. I'm just upgrading to my personal collection. I mean, eventually, when I get too old to do anything, these have to go on to sale anyway. This is a one of a kind. This isn't mass produced, so why not? All right, so Pillman, 68. Okay. And again, this is completely random because most people probably have like big major players right now. I got a lot of, you see, I've got a lot of people. Yet I pulled Junkyard Dog in that draft. So this is the one I was talking about before that George Steele came out. Part of me is thinking about buying another George Steele and then sending this away to be painted because I know someone was really good at painting and then maybe filling this out. Other option I could do is I could go get another Junkyard, go get another Mr. T body, get the Junkyard, take it apart, take the crotch piece apart, put a different crotch piece that's actually thinner that lines up with this body perfectly, and you get more of that, I want to say Mid-South Junkyard Dog, and not bloated on crack cocaine Junkyard Dog. Or meth, or no, I don't think it was meth. It was definitely, he was on some heavy drugs. I know that. 98. Okay, this one here, a lot of people have, I had to take the head off this figure, and this figure goes for upwards of $100 to $80, $80 to $100 now. So people were very interested in why I did this, and some say, with the bigger arms, it did work pretty well. At first, with the skinny arms, it didn't look right. It looked like he had just a massive head. But Steve Blackman, using the, I want to say these are the Mean Mark Callis arms. I think these are the Mean Mark Callis arms. Obviously, I don't have the red boots. I could soften this up and then try to put those on there, but he also wore just black too, so I was like, that's fine. I don't need anything else from that. So Steve Blackman's joining. 144, almost there. Okay, and there's 3 more guys added. So we got Axe Smash and Crush going to be fighting with this other stable. And this stable is these 3 guys. So you got Simon Dean. I used, did the best I probably could go over again with acetone and try to get the rest of this faded jean look off here. It's supposed to be as like blue blue workout pants. I used Velveteen Dream lower half, Stone Cold top, and then Dean was from Elite. And then these ones were probably some of the easier ones to make because they didn't require torso cracking. They just required you having the heads, basically, and the parts needed, which, if you have a Brock or even an Undertaker, you probably have the proper gloves for them. And then just acetoning off the leg tat of a Stone Cold, and you get yourself easily your Gemini, which you're like, who the heck are Gemini? They were a short-lived tag team during SmackDown back in the mid-2000s. You had Jake and Jesse. They usually did have a little decal on the back, but they also wrestled like this when they first debuted. Just two twins. They were basically twin guys that did spots because they were twin looking. You couldn't tell them. So they were kind of using that twin magic kind of thing. Obviously, they were more bulky. Apparently, Jim Cornette hated these guys down in OVW because they were just dumb, big, brooding guys that couldn't take direction to save their life. And he basically told SmackDown either take these guys or let me fire them. So, and number 48, the final guy from this draft. Okay. And it is... Now, of course, you can get him in elite form still. He just also has a AEW figure coming out pretty soon. But since I have, and I have it coming, but since this is turned into an ultimate, I figured, what the heck, Buddy Murphy. So, the leg's a little bit wobbly. I mean, I could go back and build my own if I really wanted to. I probably would give him maybe a little bit bigger of a torso if I did. Simply because he was the biggest, he was a pretty jacked cruiserweight, He was small to other guys, but when he was around the cruiserweights, he was a tank. So I might do that. It just depends on how, if the Jade or the AEW one looks really good, I might just, it's usually really rare. Once I turn him to an ultimate, I usually keep him as an ultimate. I don't switch him around, which is why Bobby Fish is going to go to the ultimate. Adam Cole has an ultimate in here, and I decided to keep it over here in this and not use the AEW one because I only keep guys, one brand, one style. So, with that being said, there's the 40. I'm going to clean up the rest of these guys and check out the next video to see how long they're staying in the roster.